Hey there guys, we're taking a look at Batman Arkham Origins running on the AMD Ryzen 5 5500U. Now we're taking a look at the in-game benchmark running right now at 1080p with the maximum settings. Now the performance that you're seeing here is not great. Specifically those 1% lows look pretty brutal. 21 is kind of a major dip there. But really overall looking at those frame times, you can see it just spikes up here and there. It's just not that consistent of an experience. But this is at the maximum graphics settings. You could turn things down, but seeing how well this was performing at this level of resolution, I thought, well, okay, what if we drop things down to 720p? As you can see, the performance is just so much better at 720p. It's an entirely different experience overall. We pretty much more than double the 1% lows, and you really don't see that much of a variance in the frame times. And this is just really showing to me how important it is for AMD to get their driver level FSR out, because if we could have 720p upscaled up to 1080p with a FSR equivalent, that would be a very nice experience. I mean, jumping into the actual game, you'll see here that the performance we're getting at 720p with the maximum settings is just really nice. This has me very excited to see what RDNA 2 graphics can do if this is the level of performance that we're still getting out of Vega. I mean, these 1% lows are pretty much the biggest deal here. We are barely going under a level where I think it would be noticeable, because usually under 45 is where you start to actually feel the 1% lows, and we're barely going under that. So for the most part, this is just going to be a very smooth experience. And notice RAM wise, we're not necessarily eating up a ton of RAM. For sure we are hitting 8 gigabytes of RAM, which means that if we were still at the just 8 gigabytes of RAM limit we were at before, we would be essentially below what the game would want. But with the 16 that we have, this is pretty much nothing. And considering we have everything maxed out, that's pretty impressive. I mean, if you're willing to sacrifice some of the 1% low performance, you can bump up the resolution to 900p at the cost of some smoothness, of course. Of course, I really would not recommend attempting 1080p with the max settings. You're just asking for too much trouble here. The performance is just going to be way too inconsistent. It's not going to be an enjoyable experience. And you can, of course, turn down the settings to get better performance out of this. But I mean, keep in mind that you can always just drop the resolution a bit and gain a lot of performance there instead of dropping the visual quality of the game. So hopefully we soon get the driver level FSR from AMD so we can actually start to see games like this be able to give some pretty good results. But anyways, I'll see you guys next time.